Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now May 11th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly how both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are really going to bring fans into a new era of Star Wars, or a new mythology, if you will. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that they are now in a position where they must improve the franchise. It's very vital to do so this year of 2020. They really can't afford anything more with fan backlash or failed projects, and that's exactly why Chapek and Iger are 100% against the Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland Star Wars project that's going to be the all-female led Star Wars TV series with tons of identity politics and more on of course, Disney+. Now, when we think about this, of everything related to Bob Iger and Bob Chapek, Bob Iger is really here to help Disney as a company through this major crisis that's happening around the world. And if we take a look at this new universe, all right, this new Star Wars universe that's really going to consist of books, novels, comics, video games, movies, and even TV shows, it's really all going to match up to the MCU. At least that's what they plan to do. They want to make it as big as the MCU in order to make Star Wars as relevant as that. Which, it is kind of funny to say because I always viewed Star Wars as pretty much more successful than the MCU at the time when, of course, Star Wars was still very strong, like with, of course, the originals and the prequels. And then Disney took over Lucasfilm and it had a big decline. Now, with that being said, everything related to Kathleen Kennedy, Disney and Lucasfilm are now in a phase of desperation and damage control for the Star Wars franchise since the end of the Skywalker saga was set in place by director J.J. Abrams. Now, it's explained that both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are working hard together as a team in order to create a better and brighter future for the Star Wars franchise and for the Star Wars community. Now, it's noted that behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy has been working closely with creator Leslie Headland, and that she has been very frustrated with Bob Chapek's decision to strip her creative power away from all projects in the early works, except for Leslie Headland's Star Wars project. Now, it's noted that behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy is sorry and holds great remorse for hiring Rian Johnson for The Last Jedi, since he, as a writer and director, derailed the franchise. Now, Kennedy is said to be sorry for hiring Rian Johnson over the fact of how he completely changed her image from the fans and how they think of her, and how it also pretty much led to Kathleen Kennedy losing her creative power over Star Wars from Bob Chapek. However, Kennedy is said to have been in the talks with Rian Johnson for the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series and wants to show fans what Rian can do with television on Disney+, which he is more suitable for than a film in her mind. It's explained that Kennedy realizes that she made a mistake hiring Rian Johnson for a major blockbuster film for a successful franchise at the time, and that she realizes now that she should have hired Rian Johnson for a Disney Plus project all along, which is, of course, what she wants to do in order to redeem Rian Johnson and show the fans what he can really do with television. Kennedy is said to have been impressed with Rian Johnson's work on Breaking Bad, and that she would like Johnson to use his creativity for a Star Wars TV show. Kennedy does in fact view hiring Rian Johnson for The Last Jedi back in late 2015 as a major mistake, since Rian never really dealt with a major film. However, fans would translate this as a contradiction, since if Kennedy is so sorry, why attempt to actually hire Rian Johnson again? Now, it's noted that Kennedy realizes that Rian is only good for a TV series at this point, and that his new trilogy is up in the air, and they are filming other movies with other creators, like Taika Waititi and Krysty Wilson, for example. Now, Rian Johnson is currently writing Knives Out 2, and is said to be creating his own murder mystery universe that will consist of a Knives Out sequel and more spin-offs, where Johnson is said to be a bit hesitant with Star Wars as we speak, even though he is in the talks with Kennedy and Headland, and does not want to get more backlash from the fans and wants to focus on his own work. So, the thing about Rian Johnson, let's focus on Kathleen Kennedy. I don't believe that she is genuinely sorry to the fans. It's more like she's sorry about what she had done to herself. That's what I'm at least getting from everything related to Kennedy, being very much regretful over her big decision of hiring Johnson and how that led to a complex production for The Rise of Skywalker, right? So we can see this common trend it doesn't make sense, because Kennedy is a person that just doesn't make sense to me. So you hold this remorse, right, for hiring Rian for The Last Jedi because of what it did to you as a person and how the fans view you, yet she's still in the talks with Rian Johnson to come on board for television, which I honestly was not all that impressed with Rian's work on Breaking Bad. I don't know if you guys saw his episode, but it really wasn't all that impressive to me. Just, that's my thoughts. I don't know about you guys, but that's just what I think about it. So everything related to Rian Johnson, guys, like I say, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.